Children, look at the sketch of this boat. You will know what is a mast. Mast is this pole. This pole is called mast. The waves were as big as the mast. Okay, and sail is a piece of material extended on a mast, that is on this, to catch the wind and propel the boat or ship to move faster. Now when the wind blows and it puts pressure on this sail, and this helps the boat to move faster. And then this is the main sail, this is the bow, this is the cockpit, this is the rudder in the bottom, and here is the cabin, and here this is the stern. This is the stern. Because now you are going to come across some of these words, so you should know where these things are. Okay, now you can either draw a picture so that you can remember when I am explaining the lesson. Now the weather changed for the worse. At dawn on January 2nd, the waves were gigantic. The waves were very huge. We were sailing with only a small storm jib and were still making 8 knots. Now the sail is removed because sail takes a lot of pressure from the wind when there is storm, and they put a storm jib. This is a quite narrow and small sail type of a thing, and they had put storm jib in order to reduce the speed of the ship, but still it was making 8 knots. 8 knots is, knot is a unit of speed, and it is exactly 1.15 kilometers per hour. So, but still they were making 8 knots. As the ship rose to the top of each wave, we could see endless, enormous seas rolling towards us. The waves were going up and down, and when the ship went up on the wave, they could see huge, large amount of water, sea, rolling towards them. And the screaming of the wind and spray was painful to the ears. The noise of the wind and the water was very painful to the ears, was very troublesome. To slow the boat down, we dropped the storm jib. Now to slow the ship even further, they removed the storm jib also and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Now they took mooring rope, that is rope in a loop across the stern. I showed you the stern in the picture. They tied the ship with rope. Then we double lashed everything. Then they double lashed. They lashes to tie. They made a loop of the boat and of the rope and tied everything. Went through our life raft drill. Now because the weather was very bad, so they went through their life raft drill, how they would save themselves in case of danger. Attached lifelines. They tied themselves with ropes. Lifelines are ropes. Donned oilskins. They wore oilskins. Oilskins are waterproof clothes, waterproof dresses. And life jackets. They also wore life jackets. Life jackets are jackets which are put, which you can fill air in it, and it will prevent you from drowning. And waited. Now they waited because the weather was quite bad and anything could happen. The first indication of impending disaster came at about 6 p.m. with an ominous silence. Now the first indication of impending is something that is bound to happen. Disaster came at about 6 p.m. They knew something bad was going to happen, and it came at 6 p.m. with an ominous silence. Ominous, inauspicious silence. Suddenly there was silence. They knew that this silence was going to spell danger. It was inauspicious. The wind dropped. Suddenly the wind dropped. The wind was blowing very fast otherwise. and the sky immediately grew dark, and they saw that the sky became very dark. Then came a growing roar, a great noise, and an enormous cloud towered aft of the ship. Then they saw there was a huge, large cloud towering just at the back, afters at the back of the ship. With horror, I realized that it was not a cloud, but a wave like no other I had ever seen. So he was horrified to see that it was not a cloud, it was actually a wave which was so high that he felt that he thought that it was a cloud. It was actually a wave, and he had never seen such a huge wave. It appeared perfectly vertical and almost twice the height of the other waves. Now this wave was perfectly vertical, straight. It was so high, almost double the size of the other huge waves, with a frightful breaking crest. Now when the wave falls, the edge of the water that is falling is called crest. That is the top part of the wave. The roar increased to a thunder as the stern moved up the face of the wave, and for a moment I thought we might ride over it, but then a tremendous explosion shook the deck. Now, when there was a great roar of thunder, and the ship moved over the huge wave. Now, the author thought that probably it will get over it. But the wave that was at the back of the ship, that exploded, and the tremendous water, fell on the deck. A torrent of green and white water broke over the ship. Huge amount of water fell over the ship. My head smashed into the wheel. He was at the wheel and his head hit the wheel, and I was aware of flying overboard and sinking below the waves. The author was flung out